What is going on, weirdos? I have a very special guest with me today. What's going on, Mr. Colfax? Uh-oh. Well, I hope that my favorite homosexual is okay. Great day for catches, man. I have missed everything on YouTube today. I've not watched. The only thing I've watched on YouTube today was a little bit of John Davis, and that was about as much YouTube as I could handle for for a while. Anyway, hopefully JT will be back. But anybody who wants to jump up here, you can. I'm just filling time while nobody else is up. Oh, Richard B. I mean, you're my fuck, man. I am so fucked. I may as well just called a sexual partner by the wrong name just now. I mean, well, Richard, you're not really gay. Well, we just have sex amongst friends, sucking dicks like shaking hands. So, I mean, you know, JT is the real deal. You and me just fuck. It don't mean we're gay. But who we got here? What's going on, Jilly Fisher? Hey, White Claw. What's up, Dusty? What's up, LBG? Hey, Veronica. What's up, Jordan? Ooh. By the way, guys, the other day when Jordan said she was going to send me some booby pics with the little toy soldiers, I thought she was joking, but she did not disappoint, and that's really all I probably ought to say on that. High as a kite on sea, man. That's not funny. I mean, if you were to smoke the sea monkeys that I hang out with, you probably actually would get high, but that's beyond the point. Yeah, Richard, he's kind of fibbing about the top part because I'm a top. That's probably why we don't actually get any fucking done because we're both constantly trying to get on top and like nothing ever really happens except for the occasional surprise anal. But you know, what's up, retro dudes network free base sea monkeys? Oh man, y'all are cruel. What's up, Matt? Fuck John Davis. Hey, you know what? That dude's kind of like a supervillain, or at least he's trying to be. I don't know. What's up, JFK? What's up, Warbot? Ryan's dumbass left a reply on my vid saying, well, you had a chance to call me out. I'm like, what the fuck? Ryan's been called out repeatedly. He just don't get it. I don't know what else to say. What's going on, Jersey? Let's see. Meow's failing liver? No, I don't do that. I don't. I don't kiss and tell, if you will. Your next sea monkey packet is very laced. Yeah. I don't know what happened to my surprise guest. I bet what happened is like, a lot of people say that my voice turns them on. He probably got turned on and had to go rumbling out. He'll be back. Anybody that carries that many Matchbox cars in his vehicle and doesn't have kids should be checked out. Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about with the other channel. I'm not sub to his other channels. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, and I'm probably not going to. And all of us responding to it, and I'm guilty too. Um, we just need to kind of leave him do his thing by himself. We can't really stop him. So, and if the dude has, I mean, I've been getting, there's like 30 John Davises just in Kentucky that have been charged with murder. And a couple of them do kind of look like him. But I haven't been able to find anything to say that he killed the guy because he was a child molester. Like, I haven't seen anything at all that would suggest that. So if he has, in fact, killed somebody, and I can't prove either way, really, but um, maybe fucking with him's not the best idea, you know? Because once you've killed somebody, it changes you, and uh, you're more likely to do it again if you already feel like I don't know how to explain it. Difficult to explain. As far as him like going at Matt's wife or whatever, I don't like. What's the point? She doesn't. She's not done anything. I don't know. Well, I would like for him to come forward and show his paperwork, or at least give us a DOC number. Because if he gives us his DOC number, we can look and we can get everything that way and know that it's the right person. No, White Claw, he wouldn't necessarily be on parole for life. Not. It just kind of depends. Sometimes people get life parole, but not always, and in fact, not even usually. If it's not life, I think, as far to my knowledge, the longest they'll put somebody on parole is like 10 years after release. So I don't know. The one that I've seen, I mean, like I said, there's when you look up John Davis, you get like there's going back to the 1800s. There's John Davises that have been convicted of murder, which obviously those aren't him. Some interesting stories though. But the one that I feel like is most likely him was at a car wash, and like there was nothing suggesting that it was because the guy did anything like that. In fact, that woman, the guy that victim's mother had lost another son like 10 years before that to violence. Um, and reading through that stuff, I never saw anything that suggested that the guy had done anything like that. So I do not know. What's going on, JFK? That's generally the case. Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Things they do things differently in every state, and every case is different. So, but if he is on parole and he's out here making these kind of threats, and some of the stuff I don't, it's like he's low key threatening people, but I don't know. Like it's hard to tell who exactly he's talking about sometimes. You know? Yeah, that one article, Matt, like half a dozen people sent that to me. So that one is going around. But there's other John Davises, and if you look at the pictures, they kind of, I don't know, it's hard to tell. The one somebody ran through facial recognition, and it only came back like a 37% or something like that. Uh, but it's an older picture, so who knows? That one does kind of look like him. Yeah, all right, Matt. I'll check them out. I've already like looked because of that one article. I've already looked at some other ones, and like there's another John Davis that could possibly be him, but neither. But there's no picture that I've seen with it. So I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. When you look up John Davis, you may as well be looking up John Smith or John Doe. You know. Exactly, Pat Con. There's a lot of fat white men named John Davis. Like I said, I'd like for him to give us his DLC number. We can look that up and get everything. So you're going to film a TikTok? Well, have fun, Julie. Oh, I don't know what happened to JT. Here, in case he's having a hard time finding the link again. What's up, Dean? Oh, I did see Locksmith has one coming tonight. I think it's 9 my time. At least we know he's, well, actually, I guess we don't know he's still alive because anybody could have his phone. He's probably talking to his computer, think, yeah, well, that's very possible. JT, you got bumped off, man. You're not on here with us, but you're welcome to come back. PCI's catch was a good. PCI has most of their catches are good. Like they got their shit together. And John Davis, if you're listening, you can come up here too, because um, I think we have some questions for you. Not everything you're saying is clear. You were just enjoying life without the odd couple. Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. PCI has another catch right now. Damn, good for them. I'm a bad father. Come and see my coyote baby. Interesting. Hey, if I got another kid out there, you can let me know. I'd be happy to stand up and take responsibility. I mean, if it's a coyote, that means, I mean, I do like doggy style, so it could very well be mine. Hey, what's going on, Andrea? Andrea, I'm gonna get you up here one of these days. Yeah, by all means, go watch the catch. I'm not gonna get upset if you take off to do that. Just kind of waiting to see if Mr. Colfax comes back on. Eat any good squirrels? No, I haven't eaten any squirrels lately. I might have to do that. Actually, I know where there's some pheasant. I would rather have pheasant, so I'm gonna If I'm going to get any wild game anytime soon, I'll probably go out and grab a pheasant. Pheasants are damn good eating. I really don't hunt very much anymore. Not like I used to. I'm out here hunting wild game and Jersey's having groceries delivered. Well, I mean, what's the name of that service? What is it? DoorDash? I think. I don't know. Squirrels taste like chicken. Well, I mean, that's what we tell people, but like, I don't know. They really don't. But if you tell somebody something tastes like chicken and they eat it, they'll think it tastes like chicken. So, yes, by all means, go watch the catch. You should be there anyway. You know what you need, Jersey? And I hate to say it, I hate to curse you like this, but you need a wife, man. Deep fried squirrels taste just like chicken will. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for how they're prepared. Um, you definitely want to get the game taste out of them. The way I get, I mean, there's other ways to do it, but I let my wild game soak in salt water for like 24 hours, or at least overnight, and that gets a lot of the gamey taste out of it. But yeah, if you bread them up and cook them like chicken, just because of the breadings and the seasoning, it will taste more like chicken. You can't share the link. Oh, you're not modded. I'm sorry. Yeah. If somebody wants to throw up the link for the catch, by all means, go ahead. This channel isn't really a part of the catcher shit, but like it's what we have in common, and I still support it. Sea monkeys taste like chicken. Oh my, you people are cruel. What's up, Sarah Luco? Do you people seriously eat sea monkeys, or are you just fucking with me? Because um, that's kind of cruel. I mean, you wouldn't. All right, thank you, Sarah Luco. You love a bit of dick with a load of sea. Well, see, now I'm in a dilemma. I might be willing to sacrifice some sea monkeys for the right girl. Back from the Chinese spy app. Yeah, that's. I mean, all the apps spy on us, but like, I don't even have TikTok on my phone because I don't know. I just don't need another thing spying on me. I mean, they all spy on us, man. How many times have you been having a conversation with somebody? You know, I was having a conversation with my son about a specific kind of torque wrench. Next thing I know, I'm getting ads for torque wrenches. So, I mean, your phone's always listening. Your phone's always listening because if you have it to where you can say, "Hey Google" or "Hey Siri," obviously they're already listening to you. So, Okay, Jordan, and I'm talking to the real Jordan. Okay, do your thighs actually have their own account? Is this actually your thighs, or is this something altogether different? I'm intrigued. Could do this Hindi. Oh, um, he probably works at a call center trying to scam people out of their life savings. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think who in here. Man, somebody here speaks Hindi that I was talking to, but fuck, I can't remember who it was. Oh, all I know to say is Benchode. What's up, Sir Nathan? Hey, yeah, dude, I got your email. I don't know if I sent one back to you. Like I was saying, you might want to like Matt or Ed's channel. If you want me to try to put you in touch with one of them. Sir Nathan knew Tommy in real life from from Connecticut, and he's got some stories. So, but dude, you're welcome to come up here and talk more about it. Dang it. Oh no, we don't hold it against you, man. Not at all. Ah, shit, we lost him. Maybe it's a problem on my end because Koufax got kicked and Nathan just got kicked too. Now try it again, Nathan. We'll see what happens. Nah, Jilly, Jason, god dang it. Nathan's been up here before and he didn't helicopter us, unfortunately. So, what's my MySpace? I never had a, a MySpace, but I remember it. I remember thinking how stupid it was to talk to people online and never took part in it back then, but here I am. What's going on, Lisa? What's going on, Stone but not alone? What's going on, Angela G? I don't know. People are trying to come up here, but they keep getting kicked. I don't know if it's a problem on my end or coincidence. There we go. Let's try this one more time. All right, man, let's try it again.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm in.
All right. I mean, I already asked you some of these questions before, but I'm going to ask some of them again. Uh, oh, 1 second. All right,
Sure.
ladies, cover your eyes. This could be a helicopter coming up. If we get helicoptered, I'll shut it down and start it again.
What's up, Stu?
What's going on, man?
Not much. I was just seeing if it was working because some people kept getting kicked. It's like, oh shit, let me try.
Right on. Oh, dude, you are absolutely stoned. Awesome.
All right, that was all. I just wanted to see if it worked. Peace, you guys.
Hey, it works. Thanks, man. Take it easy. All right, Nathan. I don't know if Matt's still in here or not. I'd probably try to hook you up with him, but well, just go ahead and explain how you know Tommy and where from and when and all that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I live in Connecticut. I have all my life mostly.
Right on. And like,
And
um,
Tommy, I met him. He used to frequent a pool hall that I worked at.
right on. And what kind of like did people like him, or was he just kind of a punk, or how did that work out?
No, well, he just gave everybody when he first started showing up. The first time I ever saw him, he was like out in the parking lot causing a big ruckus. And I went outside to see what was going on, and he was out there screaming and yelling, threatening to fight everybody. But the more we got to know him, the more we realized that he really wasn't going to do anything. He was just going to, you know, talk about it.
Or jump in a ditch and squeal like a pig and beg for his
Exactly.
life? Yeah. So he was pretty much the same then that he is now.
He when I watched that video of the one when he was in the ditch, yes.
Oh, was he? You mentioned something about his like him trying to be a rapper back then, and I don't know if you've tried to find any possible recordings of that, but if you do, we would love to have them.
Yeah, I've been looking and I've been striking out. But as soon as you said that to me, I knew that I went over his house one time with a couple other friends of mine, and he had a turntable in his room, and the kids that he used to hang out with, they were like into that, and everybody was freestyling, including Tommy one night, and it was pretty laughable.
Yeah, I bet. Back in the day, and I know people are gonna call me a racist for saying this, but fuck them. But um, am I the only one here that knows what a wigger is? Like a white kid pretending to be black. That kind of sounds like what he might have been.
Yeah, that's a slang that used to be. Yeah, that was a common slang term when we were growing up in school. And, yeah, that's. I mean, if you were to use that word, I wouldn't. But that's yeah, that would describe it for me.
Right. It was just a common word for a punk white kid that was trying to be something he wasn't. Is really
Yeah,
what that means.
yeah. I apologize too if my audio is stepping over you. I'm still dealing with that echo and thing.
Did you pause YouTube? 'Cause usually that's the problem, is because YouTube's still playing in the background.
Pause it on my laptop.
Yeah, yeah, whatever you got. Pause YouTube.
It doesn't really give me the option to pause it like when I'm in here with you.
Okay. Well, sometimes, yeah, I know what you're dealing with. I hate it. You can't hear yourself think because you can hear yourself talking, but you might just like shut it down, reopen YouTube, pause it, and then hit the link to rejoin.
Okay, I'll try that.
Right on, man. Because I know how aggravating it is to try to talk when you can hear yourself talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, now it's working perfect. I did. I went back to that second window and paused it.
Right on.
All right. So
yeah.
I've been searching for that CD ever since you said something to me. But again, this was a long time ago too. This is
right.
I think I was around 20. Me and Tommy are around the same age, and I think I was 20 or so back then. Like I started off, I worked at that pool hall. He was in there a lot. He was a regular there, and I owned a store next to there too, and yeah. Every time he would get into these altercations with people, he was screaming at the top of his lungs. He was gonna knock. Oh, look at Koufax is in here.
Right on.
Koufax.
Hey, hey, it looks like you got a good guy on there, so I won't interrupt and can't hear you. I just wanted to give you a glimpse of Kevin working at my sister's house.
Oh no doubt.
Hold on a second.
Check it out.
So that's that. I can't hear a damn thing, so I don't want to be rude. I'll watch this when I get home.
Right on. You probably want to talk to this guy.
Can he hear us?
Kevin,
He's got a bad connection.
Tommy's little remark.
Oh.
Oh shit. Yeah, he's got a bad connection is all.
I seen him on some of your shows. I like Koufax.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's
that's Tommy was like, so when I watch these videos of him, it's just laughable to me, like how he prances around and just even the way he talks to like the people that donate, like it's so fake, like the way he says thank you to them and stuff. Right. Like it's just like it's so funny that like when I knew him, like he had these always having problems with multiple people, and he's like on the this YouTube star now, and everybody's like there's this whole group that has sprung up that everyone can't stand him because he can't tell the truth.
That's the thing is like he wants to pass it off like he's a good guy or whatever, but like no other catchers have entire fucking channels growing just to point out all the bullshit Tommy does, you know what I mean? So that,
yeah, I know.
And all the people that he's worked with that have come out against him, that by itself should tell people something.
Yeah. And before like you invited me on your channel, I used to just come in and leave comments in the section, like in the chat rooms and stuff. Like, and I used to just say, eventually, you guys are all gonna find out. Like, if you don't know him now, like you will find out.
Right.
Not a good guy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're welcome to jump up here anytime and talk about whatever.
Yeah. I'm kind of a a nerd anyways. Like people probably wouldn't want to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm into Bigfoot, like watching videos of Bigfoot. I'm into that pretty big right now. And
I've spent my whole life, I've hiked all over the country. I've hiked in different countries. I've done a lot of hunting, a lot of camping, a lot of fishing. And like I have never seen any sign of Bigfoot myself. Now there were a few times where like I could hear something huge like running through the woods or whatever, and I couldn't identify what it was, but I've
I
never
would say
actually
it was,
seen a sign of Bigfoot myself.
yeah, and I haven't either. I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, Connecticut is not known for Bigfoot, anyways. But I mean, there's people in New York that have had sightings of Bigfoot and stuff, but not in Connecticut that I know of. And
Right.
yeah, I became interested because an older gentleman I used to know was really good friends with him, and I mean, this guy's not, like when you have a relationship with somebody where they're just not going to lie to you.
Hmm.
And he's passed away, since, but he was a trapper his whole life. He trapped for, all different types of animals and stuff until the day, until he passed away. And one day, joking around with him, my brother's a race car driver. We were all hanging around in the garage, and I said, "No, you ever, because you're in the woods so much. I mean, he's literally, when he goes trapping, he's like living in the woods." And I asked him, I said, "You ever had any strange encounters?" And he said, in all my years, he had never had anything, just this one incident he had where he was like kind of like down, and like he called it the bottom of a cup, like the hills were like up around him. And him and one of his other friends that traps with him was like they were parked down in there, and he said that something was throwing rocks over the top. And
Right.
in this area where they're trapping, like, it's not going to be somebody playing a prank on you throwing rocks at you.
Right.
Like they're in the middle of nowhere. So that was the first time I was like, wow, like I couldn't believe like actually had he didn't see him or anything, but it was just this strange um experience that he had.
Now, I think it's entirely possible that there could be things. I mean, people don't realize how much vast wilderness we still have
They don't.
until you're out there in it, or even just flying over it, man. Now, I think it's entirely possible that there's some kind of primate out there that could be living out there. Um, and I've talked to a lot of people who, I mean, most of them you can tell were just bullshitting or whatever, but there are some people who 100% believe that they saw Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
And that's the thing. And like they'll have like every picture you've ever seen of Bigfoot is really grainy. So I think that Bigfoot is just grainy. I just think that that's what Bigfoot really looks like.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've had encounters that I can't explain. I've been, sitting around a campfire or hunting or whatever.
He's
And
from
a
the
few
sea monkey
times.
family too,
Oh, absolutely.
Bigfoot's known to be of this sea monkey genome. So he's
It's
part
it's
relative of yours.
it's interesting that you should say that because a lot of my sea monkey brethren have told me stories, from centuries ago, of Bigfoot coming out of nowhere to protect them and then just disappearing back into the woods.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So, at least the sea monkey community has that going for it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
guys
Many.
are, I get it, you guys are an oppressed people.
We definitely are. We're overlooked by. I mean, animal rights groups. You never see animal rights groups protesting to save the sea monkeys. They'll do it for
No,
everything else, but not us.
yeah, it's not right, but that's, the cards you were dealt, being born a sea monkey.
Yeah, I'm working to change that, but it's an uphill battle.
I mean, I'm all about keeping the sea monkey down. Like, that's just, see, there's no place for sea monkeys.
Why?
Because, they've never really had a stand-in. Like, we just try to keep them down there. So,
That's the problem. I mean, we have the same thoughts and feelings and emotions as as you or a dog or anything else. I don't understand why we are so discriminated against.
Because of who you are. You guys are born in barrels, man.
And that's not right. We are trying to change that. To go into our natural habitat, rip us out of where we belong by nature, change our fucking DNA structure. I mean, how would you feel if somebody grabbed you out of your house, fucking dehydrated you, totally dried you out, put you in a fucking foil package, sent you to God knows who, God knows where, and then you're made to regenerate in a little tiny fucking tank? I mean, how would you feel if that was you?
If I was a sea monkey? Are you asking as if I was a sea monkey?
Yeah, I mean, how would you
I
feel
would
if that
say I
happened to you?
deserve it.
Okay, you just must be racist. That's all there is to it.
I mean, what does the chat think about sea monkeys?
I get a lot of support from the chat, except for the ones that want to fucking eat us.
You have to deal with that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they think it's funny to talk about getting high off of sea monkeys by fucking smoking them in foil. They think it's
really?
funny to talk about eating us on salads and shit, man. They do. They think that shit's funny.
That's not right. I mean,
I
I
know.
don't want people, eating your kind. I just want to keep the sea monkeys down. I don't necessarily agree with people eating your kind.
Okay, but why shouldn't we have equal rights, though?
Because you're a sea monkey. You guys,
Well, I mean,
if
they had.
I feel if they gave you guys the rights that you're looking for, you guys would, gang up on everybody and start, thinking that you should be like having the same rights as everybody else.
We should have the same rights as anybody else. Tell me why a sea monkey. Tell me why restaurants aren't sea monkey accessible. You know what I mean? We can't fucking go anywhere and just go in like everybody else because the fucking restaurants or gas stations or strip bars, especially the strip bars, aren't sea monkey accessible. And plus, it would help the economy because if sea monkeys could get into strip clubs, we'd be spending a whole lot more money.
There's a question. Fang Soup it wants to know why you identify as a sea monkey.
Because I'm a sea monkey.
That's just who he is. So he wears he wears who he is with pride. I could say that much for him.
Well, you know what? I hid it. Like my whole life, I knew that deep down inside, I was meant to be a sea monkey. And my whole life, I hid it, and I was ashamed of it.
Mm.
And then one day, I just came to terms with it, and
and you've accepted it.
I identify as a sea monkey.
Well,
I mean, I don't just identify as a sea monkey. I am a sea monkey.
Yeah, I get it.
And I just think it's really unfair that we don't have the same rights as anybody else. If you have a what do you call it? If you have a service animal, they have to make accommodations for that. Why can't they make accommodations for us?
Did you hear about the petition that's going around?
Uh-oh, what petition?
Prohibit sea monkeys from driving, Tough Tom said.
Well, see, that's the kind of discrimination that we face every single day. They don't want us. They won't let us own guns. They won't let us drive. And good luck making a doctor appointment outside of a vet. Do it sometime. I'm not even kidding, man. Actually, if you have a phone handy right now, we can do this. Call up a vet's office and tell them that you need to have your sea monkey looked at, and see what they say. They won't give you the same respect as if you call in and say you need your dog looked at.
Oh man. I guess I can come around a little bit.
That's all we're asking for. We're not asking to be in control of anything.
Not the same rights, but more than bottom barrel like you guys are right now.
Yeah, we don't want more. We just want the same. We just want the discrimination to stop. I mean, I'm not asking for sea monkeys to be able to run for president. I mean, at least not yet, not till we have a chance to prove ourselves. And I get it. We will be able to prove ourselves, and we should.
I think
sea monkeys
actually could be president.
Well, we kind of have one now. I guarantee you, if a sea monkey was president, it would be better than the president that we have right now. I promise you that with all my heart.
Yeah. So, sea monkey for 20, what is it, 20, when's the next election? You could be the first representative of the sea monkeys to make president.
Oh, man. That's kind of a leap, because, I mean, right now, we aren't even allowed to. I mean, try to take. I'm not even talking about a free sea monkey. Try to take a tank of sea monkeys, like into a theater, and see what happens. We are so discriminated against; they would kick you out.
Well, you guys could watch from outside, or listen to the audio of it.
That's not the same, though.
Why not?
It's not the same. We don't have the same rights. We can't just fucking walk into a theater, buy a ticket, and watch a movie. I mean, think about how many more tickets they would have sold if we would have been allowed to buy tickets for Aquaman. I guarantee you, it would have tripled the profit.
I don't know about that. Well, you would have 3 sea monkeys. You could triple the profit of the new Aquaman. Isn't Amber Heard in the new Aquaman?
Oh, I don't know. Is she? The sea monkey community rejects her anyway. Monkey. What? No.
I heard that she was a part of the sea monkey community.
She might have. She probably said she was, but we don't have any record of her. So, that's the thing. People will take a DNA test and say, "Oh, look, I'm 4% sea monkey," and they're full of shit, man. They're just trying to get clout.
Stealing the clout chasing.
Yeah, people just like, I'm the real deal. I am a real sea monkey, but people just want to steal our clout by saying, "Oh, I have sea monkey ancestry," and it's bullshit. They don't.
You guys track the lineage?
Oh yeah.
Who's the original?
Oh yeah,
sea monkey father?
We don't actually know. The records,
Could be a lot of people
go back. It started out with okay. There's a whole. We don't know if it's myth or if it's because it's all oral history. Like a lot of it wasn't really recorded until centuries later, and we don't know if they get everything right. But it started out as sea monkeys were before Bigfoot became a land walking animal. He was actually a bigger version of a sea monkey, and we believe that some of the lineage goes back to that, but we don't know exactly when and exactly where.
Man, you got an uphill fight. From the sounds of
It is. It is, man. That's why I'm out here fighting.
Did you watch the basketball game between Tommy and Alex?
Yes.
Alex owned them.
Well, I mean, that was no surprise.
I mean, he wasn't wearing sneakers.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy's a broken down hunchback versus.
I fell
I mean,
out.
how old was Alex at the time? 20 or 21? I mean, come on.
I
He never
fell
stood
out
a
when I
chance.
seen Alex playing in his straight up. I think he had socks on.
Yeah, sea monkeys support Alex, but we don't support Tommy.
Yeah, that's understandable. I guess I'm in the same boat. Alex is pretty funny.
Well,
Like, I like watching his catches.
yeah. It's actually because of Alex why I got like personally involved with people back when he first got started. Because I was watching like Anxiety War and Pop Squad. I'm not a big fan of Pop Squad because fuck Nito, but got a whole story there too. But Alex just popped up. Like I remember when Alex only had like 20 people in his live streams, and so we just started talking and whatever, blah blah blah. But I'm like, man, this motherfucker. Not only does he expose predators, but he roasts them, and I thought it was awesome.
He
But
says
his
things during the catches sometimes, like, and he's messing with them, but they don't even know it.
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's funny, man.
But he used to roast them really bad, and like watching his style kind of changes. I mean, I like his new style too, and the fact that he started out doing it just for something to do, but he eventually got serious about it, and I'm good with him either way.
Yeah. No, when I watch his catches, like I'm like, man, like he's a cool dude. Like I could see myself hanging out with him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could possibly be Alex's real dad because, like, if his mom ever got laid in the parking lot of an Alice in Chains concert, I might actually be his dad, but I'm not sure.
Really? Was this female sea monkey as well?
Well, back in the day, I kept my sea monkey.
Background.
I kept that kind of quiet, like I was ashamed. Like I knew that people wouldn't accept me if they knew I was really a sea monkey, so I kind of kept that hid. So I did do the mating ritual with quite a few human females.
Duh was in shoe boxes in my cousin's special ed class. Oh man, what a community this is.
Yeah.
All right.
I tell you what, man, if that's
what?
If that's Fang Soup's actual picture, I'm about to step up my flirting game.
Yeah? You like some Fang Soup?
Mm-hmm.
I only see, like, when I see those pictures, they're miniature on the side of my computer screen. I can't tell what she looks like.
Yeah, I mean, look, I simp on a woman based strictly on this little tiny picture, even if it's not really her, even if it's really a guy.
Right. You're
I'll
okay
simp
with
all over him just
Yeah.
in case. Yeah, it looks like Constantine's on the prowl too, and I can't say I blame him.
Has there ever been a Pred Kitchen community love connection?
Oh yeah. Oh wait, you
Really?
talking about me personally? You talking about me personally?
I mean of anyone that you've you personally or anyone that you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's happened quite a bit actually. Um, actually, right now, Locke and Sabby are off doing the mating ritual.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I've met.
Go ahead.
See, I've met quite a few females that I talk to regularly still, and I've met a total of 6 people from this whole thing, and 2 of them let me play with their boobies. So yeah, it does happen. It's not really the smartest idea because it has a tendency to go horribly wrong.
It could backfire.
Oh yeah, we've seen that happen.
Yeah, listen. I had used to play a lot of Game of Thrones online. Very common in Game of Thrones. They actually came up with a system in the game where you could like marry a partner. And it was very common. There were people like it happened, I mean, a lot. People used to, the different YouTube shows I used to watch, there were people that literally hooked up in real, ended up hooking up in real life. And a couple of them even got married.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't do dating apps or any bullshit like that. And like I've always been pretty much against meeting people online, but when you start talking to somebody and you talk to them for months or a couple of years and you really get to know them, or you think you get to know them,
oh yeah, you can get to know somebody. Like you start talking to them, outside of, this, community, or you start talking to them on the phone. I could see it happening easily.
Yeah. Like I said, I've met 6 people from this community, in real life, and 2 of them,
that's all right.
But
that's all right.
And mine didn't go too bad, but
You said 2 of them let you play with their boobies?
Yeah. And like one of them didn't even press charges.
There you go. That's a plus right there. The other one, she was heated afterwards, huh?
No, I'm joking. Actually, the ones that I had the pleasure of having physical interaction with, everything has gone fine.
Yeah.
There's no hard feelings or nothing like that.
Yeah, I met, off of the game that I used to play. I met one person off of there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A chick like hooked up and, hung out with her and stuff like that. I don't kiss and tell, so I'm not gonna say what we did.
Yeah, you're best off. I'm not I don't get into detail either.
So where does the community hang out if there's not like a show going on?
Oh, hell if I know. There's almost always a show going on though.
There is.
There's usually
I have noticed that. There's a lot of shows always going on. I just joined that guy Matt's channel. He was online.
He's a good one.
He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He does more with my channel's not really a hate Tommy channel, but we do wind up talking about it a lot. But he would probably be interested in talking to you if you want me to.
Who?
Matt.
I went in there last night, or actually it was like this morning, first thing this morning. But they were having like a insomnia stream, I guess it was called.
Oh no, that was Ed. Yeah, he'd be a good one to talk to for you too.
Oh, that was the one you told me to, go introduce myself to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either one of them.
Yeah, and but they were really like it was. I mean, I don't know if they were up all night, but they were pretty tired. So there wasn't like a whole lot of talking going on.
Right. Yeah, that happens.
Why did Gremlin say we have lives, Nathan? I know everyone's got lives. I didn't say you don't.
No, we don't. No, we don't. He's lying, especially him. I mean, I spend my time when I really don't watch panels very much anymore, but I spend my time fighting for sea monkey rights.
Yeah, you're big into that now, an activist.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I can't say that I wish you luck, but I honor, I honor what you're trying to do.
That's all we're asking for, man, is a little respect. That's it.
Yeah. What I'm worried about is a sea monkey takeover type of thing.
Nah, that's not really what we want. I mean, we should be equally represented, not overly represented.
Yeah.
Just let us get our foot in the door.
You into any besides the pred catching community, which you spend a lot of time doing? What else? Do you have any other hobbies you like doing?
Masturbating.
Masturbating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Salute.
No, I mean, as far as YouTube goes, like I'm actually kind of a nerd when it comes to like history and shit like that.
Me too.
And I do like conspiracy theories. I'm not saying I believe all of them, but I do like to learn about that kind of thing, especially the ones that turn out to be true.
Yeah, I'm into that too. I'd say conspiracy theory. I like to at least look at what both sides are saying before I make a stance on one or the other.
That's all we're asking for, man. It's just a little respect and equal treatment. That's all. See, yeah, Lennon God's Angels has it right. You can save a struggling sea monkey with just a few cents a day. You can sponsor your own sea monkey and show them they matter to us all. See, that's it. Hit my Cash App.
There you go. He's like a campaigning for sea monkeys with you.
What's up, Zippity?
Who's coming in?
JFK, this is Sir Nathan. He knew Tommy in person before he was famous.
A famous YouTuber.
Oh man, he thinks he's. I mean, yeah, a lot of people know him, but he seems to think he's some kind of like rock star or some shit.
Well, you're in trouble when you're talking about yourself in the third person as much as he does.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, like people get easily starstruck, and that's part of the problem. Like I have a small itty bitty channel, and like I encourage people to like hit me up privately, and I like to get to know people.
for sure.
But just because you have a channel, sometimes people, I don't want to make anybody sound a certain way, but sometimes they're like, oh, I can't believe you answered me back, or I can't believe you spent so much time talking to me, and it's weird, man. It's fucking weird.
What's weird?
But you could just people get easily starstruck, and just because you have a YouTube channel, they kind of put you, even no matter how much of an asshole you are, they kind of put you on a little bit of a pedestal.
Yeah, well, because they're coming here listening to you. Like they, I guess you would. I mean, I can kind of relate. Shoebox. Have you ever met anyone who tripped the? No. I don't never seen anyone trip him before. I mean, he has enough trouble walking normally. So,
no, it said topped
in the racing community. We were, I used to work on my brother's car. He was like a very successful race car driver. So, I mean, of course, he was race car drivers like at those tracks that they're racing at. They are like small celebrities, let's say.
Right.
They even got to know me, and I never drove or anything. I just was, I used to work on my brother's car, and I was the person who talked to him while he was driving, his spotter. And you end up, people they come up to you, they're watching us race and stuff. They do kind of act like you're, not a celeb. I don't know if a celebrity is the right word, but they definitely like want to hear what you have to say and things like that.
Yeah, or like they've heard you talk so much that they think they know you, and they expect you to be a certain way when you're different privately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and that my point is like I can definitely see how people can take advantage of that. Oh. Shit, Gina, I'm sorry. Gina, can you go to that video and put a timestamp? Because I will absolutely I forgot. I will private it as soon as we get off of here. I'll try to remember. I'm sorry, I just forgot about it. Can you go to that video and put a timestamp where you were doxxed? Because I kind of started looking for the docs the other day and I couldn't find it. So if you could timestamp it in the comment section there, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, I'll try to remember to private it immediately after we're off of here. I'm sorry about that.
When I went to Drew's, there was a dude. Yeah. You never know, like, who. I was just reading Jilly Fisher's comment. You never know, like, the type of personalities or what that people are going to flock to, like, next thing you know, like, they're like small celebrities, I guess.
Yeah, and people can easily take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Can you get an autograph? Sure.
That's I'm sure, especially like on YouTube where like they can do like leave donations and stuff like that. Like I've watched those videos that have you ever watched those Blue videos?
Yeah, I used to work with Blue.
Yeah, Blue. So Blue, like she has put up like those videos in Tommy, showing how like he's asking for money for certain things and then ends up not even getting them, or saying that they cost a lot more than they actually were. I mean, that's taking advantage of people right there.
Right. I get a lot of heat because I've only ever dropped my Cash App twice. Once was because I was repeatedly asked to drop it because my cat needed something, and the people more than delivered on that. And the only other time I've ever actually dropped my Cash App was for cocaine. And it wasn't even really that I wanted the drugs. It was like it was just to prove a point. I'm like, as long as you're honest about shit, even if it's shady, people will still give you money. So I told everybody I needed $100 for some cocaine. I dropped my Cash App. Within about 5 minutes, I had $150, and that
Get
just,
out of here.
No, I'm not even kidding. A lot of people here saw it.
Wow. You still
People give
use,
me a lot of shit when the
you
point
still
wasn't
use
for the
that
drugs.
stuff?
No, not really.
Good.
That's the last time I had any.
Good. I'm gonna like, I used to have a problem like using drugs, and I don't use drugs anymore either. So I know what it's like to go through that.
Yeah.
Not fun times.
I mean, I'm an opioid addict for sure. And I've done my fair share of cocaine, but I've never actually been addicted to coke. I just, and I really don't see myself using it much anymore because it's not, it quit helping me. It quit being fun. It quit making me feel good.
Oh yeah,
Now it's making my chest hurt, so.
It doesn't take much or long before the fun thing turns into a problem thing. Like, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, if you keep chasing that high that you're never going to get, you're just going to be an addict and life's going to really suck.
Yeah. I went through, my cousin passed away when, we were 2 months separated, and when I was 25, and that threw me through a loop. And I started, that's when I started, I just wanted to shut off, stop thinking. I just wanted to stop thinking. And I knew I tried to think, back when, when could I shut off like that? And I immediately was thought back to, like, when I used to, like, do certain kinds of drugs, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And so I tried to shut off with the drugs. And once before I knew it, I had a problem. And then, even after I stopped using drugs, those things that I tried to cover up, they were still there. So
Yeah.
These are things that, the drugs really are not helping you get over it. They're just letting you forget it for that moment.
Yeah, it works good for a while, but it don't take long, and before you know it, you're just another slave,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was not a drug guy until I got hurt, and it started off with Vicodin, and I took Vicodin for 2 years, and it didn't get away from me. I was able to control it. I didn't take as much as what they were giving me, so I had a big stockpile, and I went to a different doctor, and he said, well, all that Tylenol in the Vicodin's going to kill your liver, so he's like, we're going to try you on oxys, which they told me that, and I knew better, and I fucking did it anyway, but I knew people were addicted to Percocets, and that's oxycodone. Oxycontin is oxycodone, but with more in it. And the doctors are telling me, oh, no, it's not as addictive because it's time released. And I knew it was bullshit, and I fucking took it anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I was able to control the hydrocodone for 2 years, but once I got on oxys, man, it didn't take long, and I lost all control. Over a number of years, I ratcheted up, and I was buying the shit off the street and taking 1,000 milligrams a day.
Yeah, I had I know it could, and then one thing leads to the next. Like, at least that's how it was for me. Like, once I made it okay to do this one, then it was like kind of open the door to this one, and then before you know it, you're into the really bad stuff, and
right.
and then it's you're in trouble. But thank God that was that was in my past. I don't have a problem talking about it. It's something that's in my past. Like I'm
Right.
much
And a
I'm
lot
much
of us have
happier.
that, you know.
Yeah, I'm much happier now. Like you didn't even want to know me back then. Like but now I'm just a much more happier person.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily the drugs themselves that fuck up your life. It's the shit that you will do to get the drugs, or like when you run out and you're going through withdrawal, your mind goes to some really fucked up places, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
Like I never
you're
fell
hurting,
into the
you're hurting so bad, like for someone who's never been through a withdrawal before, the best way I can explain it is think of your worst day, like t- during a sickness or something, like, and just play that over and over again, like every morning
Mhm.
waking up and just the race is on to get rid of that feeling.
Right. And I think me personally and a lot of people I've talked to, like there came a point where like, at first you go into denial. You're like, yeah, I got this under control, but there comes a point where you realize that you're addicted and you need to do something about that. But you're kind of high functioning for a while, like I still maintained a job for a long time after I knew I was addicted. So I thought, yeah, okay, I'm an addict, but I'm okay because I got it under control. Well, a few years later, I had no control.
I used to say that too, Bill. I used to say, like, I'm a functioning addict, right? Like I'm always working, I always have money, like it's not a problem for me, you know.
Right, right.
And then like you keep going, it's you can like I used to tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong. They knew something was up, but they don't know what, but it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. Like some people said that they knew something was up, but they never would have thought that I was an addict because I was actually pretty anti-drug before I become a junkie.
So was I.
And part part of the problem was like I had money. I made really good money.
Hmm.
So like I didn't fall into the heroin thing because I could always, afford the pills. That's where people get fucked up on heroin, is because pills get hard to find or they get way more expensive. And somebody's like, well, I got some heroin.
Yeah,
And a lot of the
that's what
time
it
people are
is.
like, yeah, like they never in a million years would have pictured themselves doing heroin. And then there they are.
Yeah, it's like if you've got an oxy problem, oxycontin, like depending on how many of those, like how bad your habit is, like I know mine was like I can only speak for myself was really, but the worst I ever got, let's say, um, a couple hundred milligrams of oxycontin a day, let's say, and
Yeah, that's
I
still
mean
a
just
lot though.
yeah, it was a lot, like it was a lot, and just to get yourself like so that you can function, like and then like so if you got a really bad habit, right? Like let's say yeah, a couple of people that like you get stuff from, and like these are prescriptions that doctors are giving out to them. Like you can't just
Hmm.
go back to the doctor and say, "Give me more of these." Like they kind of know what time it is with that stuff, and
Right.
then like you can't get that pill anymore, and then you meet one person who does heroin and says, "Hey, you could just do one of these little baggies. It's like doing the same. It's like the same thing."
Yeah, they'll be like,
And
oh, just snort it, and
yeah,
that works for a while. Then you're going to the needle.
yeah. Fortunately, never went to the needle myself, but
I didn't
that's
either, but
it's not. Don't. I'm not bragging. Like I'm not above that. I just didn't get there. Like, and I'm
right,
glad.
right. Yeah, Julie, Adderall and meth, it's the same trap. People that's the thing, doctors will give you shit for years, and then they all of a sudden there's a big scare in the news, and the DEA starts getting shitty with them. So
Oh yeah.
they cut people off cold turkey. Whether it's painkillers and heroin or Adderall and meth, it's the same effect. People will go to the streets.
So I live in Connecticut, right? And right the state, right next to us, Rhode Island. There was a doctor in Rhode Island that you could go to, and like it was known amongst the people I was hanging out with that you could go to this doctor and he would write you a script, for pretty much whatever you told him you needed.
Right.
So you
Well,
could
they were
go,
out there.
oh yeah, like, and then all like he did, like we used that guy for a while till they cracked down on him. Next thing you know, he was in the paper, and he was like, he got into a lot of trouble for doing that. But then all of a sudden, all those people that he was, freely writing out anything that they were asking for, or get the rug pulled out from underneath them, and everybody's got an issue.
Right.
So it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are all these people doing? Like, all of a sudden, they're cracking down on these doctors, and the doctors, like, that were just writing these things out freely because they're getting, they're making money off of it. All of a sudden they get cracked down on. They don't give a shit about the hundreds of patients that he's been freely writing these scripts out to, who pretty much are hooked on this stuff.
Right. And they get kicked out into the cold, into the streets, man. And
yeah,
there's a documentary, I think it's called the Oxycontin Express, and it was about, like, there were entire strip malls in South Florida, for example, entire strip malls that like they had armed security, and there were people literally lined up around the block, and it was nothing but doctors and pharmacies just writing out fucking script after script of Oxycontin or whatever.
Yeah. Like,
and
what's that place? Do you know the place that's called, like, they have a huge Oxycontin problem, and they called it like Oxy Country or something, like it was.
That's part of what that documentary was about. They call it hillbilly heroin.
Yes.
Because they would take it up into the Appalachian Mountains from Florida. They would literally go down by the carload. You'd have as many people stuffed into a car as you could get from the Appalachian Mountains down to these doctors in Florida, and then they would bring it back and sell it. It was a huge problem.
Oh, it's they can't get, it's everybody there. It seems like when I was watching that special, like that whole area, like, you're talking, like, there was like a couple of people like that they interviewed that weren't using it, that were like talking about, like, everybody that they ran into, boom, they pulling pockets full of pills, like,
yeah,
it's terrible.
I mean, dude, I've been at concerts where, and like nobody that I knew, but like I've seen people like reach into their freaking pants pockets, and you could tell they'd had these pants on for days, and they would just reach in and pull pills out that weren't in any kind of container, like with lit and shit stuck to them, and hand them to somebody, and that person would just take them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without a second thought. And I mean, back in the day, kind of like when I was taking stuff, but I wasn't like really hooked on it yet. I was hanging out with a girl, and we were making out and stuff, and she took a pill and popped it in my mouth, which I didn't appreciate because I didn't know what the hell it was. And I spit it out, and then a few years later, the same thing happened with a different girl, and I just swallowed it. Didn't even think about it. Didn't care. So that kind of shows like how you deteriorate as an addict. You just get to a point where you don't give a fuck, or you get desperate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you're hurting. Like, you're hurting. You're in pain. Like, you're sick. If anyone out there is going through something with, where they're on a substance, I have so many friends and close people that were close to me they're just dead. Like they're either
Oh yeah.
they're not coming back. They're not getting a second chance. Like if you
Yeah.
got a problem, don't be afraid to go out there. There's programs out there now. And
over the last like 15, 20 years, it's kind of getting more acceptable to get help or whatever, because there's still a big stigma behind it. And there's still though, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people in this community. Once they find out that you're an addict or have been an addict, they just start treating you like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they'll claim that, oh yeah, I want you, I support you, nah, they don't. There's still a big stigma behind it,
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as it used to be. I mean, now you have what's it called, like Suboxone and stuff like that can help. So treatment is getting better and more available.
What did you say?
Still,
I'm sorry. What did you say could help?
Suboxone.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, when I was first trying to, like, okay, that's enough is enough. Like I made that decision in my head. It's time to get clean. Hated what it was doing to my family. I'm really, really close to my family. And I hated like the looks on their face when they would see me. And I knew that I was tired of hurting the people around me. And I made that decision. There wasn't hardly any programs back then. Like, unless you wanted to go get on a really high dose of methadone, which I wasn't. Like, I had heard some horror stories about it, so I did not want to go down that path. I mean, the choices for you were limited, and the nowadays, like, they have that Suboxone, that it's a much better option.
So you still the actual work of actually getting clean is still on you. You still got to have the right mindset. There's no magic answer.
All those people that I thought were my friends, like you like when you have a really bad problem, you surround yourself with people that they're all in the same boat as you. Okay.
Right.
And you can swear up and down, like, oh, these guys, girls, whatever, they're gonna ride or die for me. Like, these people are here for me. Like, but you quickly find out when you pull yourself out of that scene that those people are not really there for you. They're there because they're in the same situation you are. Like, and
they're there because they know if they run a little bit short, they can come and bum a couple off of you, and and vice versa.
Exactly. And when you're like, when all of a sudden when you get clean, you get over the withdrawals. The withdrawals aren't like really the hardest part. The withdrawals, trust me, they suck dick. Like, they're the, excuse my language, chat, but the withdrawals are horrible. But even once you get over those withdrawals and you're stuck with yourself, that's when rubber meets the road.
Getting over the withdrawals is one thing. Living, like you said, living with yourself is something else. And that was always and still is the problem with me trying to be clean. Is one, because I am in like legitimate chronic pain, and I need a little something to help so I can actually go out and do shit. But the other thing is like your mind goes to such a dark fucking place. And it takes a long time. I mean, I was clean for 2 years before I relapsed, and I'm still, like, I'm not near as bad as I used to be, but I still do abuse shit. It's just not as bad as it was, but
but it's gonna get there if you keep doing it.
You're right. I know that.
You
Well, I
know,
mean, actually, it really won't because, um, like I used to make really good money, and I figured it up one time, and a friend of mine that was trying to help me, I was spending the last 2 years of my hardcore oxy 1,000 milligram a day addiction. I was spending $80,000 a year just on oxys. That doesn't include the fucking Xanax, or which I never got hooked on Xanax, but I used to take the shit out of it. And it was like I don't have that money accessible to me now, so like if nothing else, that will stop me from getting as bad as I used to be.
yeah.
You know what? I hope, unless I figure. I don't know though. I'm pretty good at figuring out hustles when I really need to. So
Yeah, listen. I try to tell people like addicts are creative, man. Like they will like I could like you take me today and place me back when I was using. I couldn't do it. Like I'm different now. I couldn't even run that hustle anymore. Like I'm not the same person anymore. And I hope you get clean, Bill. You're a good guy. You always got good things to say to people, like, and these drugs, they're not doing you favors.
oh, I know. The problem is knowing something and giving a fuck are two different things sometimes.
Yeah. You gotta give a fuck. Like you're special to somebody. Like you can't have that mindset. Like don't give a fuck what happens. Like there are people out there who care about you, and if you just if all of a
Oh, I
sudden
know.
you're
I
not
know
there,
that.
yeah, then that's you can't. There's a better life out there than drugs.
Yeah, I know, man. Like I know that people care about me, and like that's the only reason I haven't taken a shortcut to the end. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I know that.
You ever need
But yeah,
somebody
I've
to
seen.
talk to, you could talk to me uh like anytime you need somebody to talk. Like if you ever did get clean and you feel like the walls are coming in, you could contact me, if you ever needed somebody to talk to.
I appreciate that, man. I'm just not good at the reaching out thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying it, like I don't want to bring the whole room down, but where there's a will, there's a way, Bill.
It's real talk, man. People, I mean, a lot of people here can identify with it. And anybody that can't identify with it, this kind of will give them a little bit of insight as to what it's like. So yeah, you ain't bringing nobody down. I like to have real talk here.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people in here. I forget who said it. Somebody was saying they hadn't had a drink in 28 years, but they were thinking about it. Hey, fight that urge, man. I mean, I might be a drug abusing piece of shit, but I still will encourage anybody to stay the fuck away from it, especially if you've already gone through the fucking trauma of getting clean. And if this is triggering you in any way, by all means, like, not, go watch something else if we're triggering anybody.
Yeah. Well, there's an MMA card on tonight.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like MMA. I just don't follow it.
I don't as much as I used to be hardcore into it. Like I watched I've watched everything that's happened in the UFC. I've seen it, but I mean, I used to watch all of them. Like on my computer, just all a bunch of different sites. but it's lost some of its luster to me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the stars, like the guys who I was really interested in it, like watching them fight, like a lot of them have gotten older, and all your guys that were like heroes to you, they end up going out on their back if they fight long enough, you know?
Yeah. Dude, when I first got into like that kind of MMA is when, like when the Gracies were, like the dominant thing. Back you could only go to certain, like this is before they started putting it on cable or whatever. The only way to get it was to either be there or find somebody that had a VHS tape, because it was, at the time they said it was illegal to show it or whatever, and only certain video stores had it.
Yeah.
And that, that was back when they were they were breaking legs and breaking arms all the time. And it seems like it was more brutal. They had to put some more rules in, but that's when I got into it.
Yeah. In the very beginning too, it was more like nowadays all of the guys, they have maybe they specialize in like one style or the other. Like if they have a wrestling background, a boxing background, a kickboxing, karate, whatever their background that they're really strong at, but all of them are well-rounded now. Like back when the UFC first started, it was more about like them testing art against art, right? Like here's Hoist Gracie. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's 170 pounds soaking wet, and he's fighting in an open class. He could end up going against a sumo wrestler that weighs 400 pounds. Like, where nowadays it's, there's weight classes, and all the guys are just, you need to be versed in everything. Football, I'm a big football fan.
You see, I like to, I don't play sports now, but I like to play sports, but I just don't like watching it on TV. I couldn't even tell you who won the Splendid Bowl this year.
The what bowl?
The Splendid Bowl.
The Super Bowl?
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah. How about TV shows? What's everybody's favorite television show?
Dude, I'm just not a TV guy. The last thing I ever planned to watch regularly was The Sopranos. If that tells you how long it's been since I really watched television.
You don't watch TV at all? Or like even on the computer you could stream stuff?
I could. I'm just not into it.
No?
Mm-mm.
I'm into, well, nerding out on this Bigfoot shit is really taking up. I do a lot of that. But besides that, I'm always looking for a good show. If somebody is watching something and they're like, this is a good show, and you see me in the chat room, tell me about it. I'm always looking for a new show to watch.
Right on. I mean, like, I just never, dude, I live in a fucking woods anyway. Yeah, I could watch it on my phone, but, yeah. But yeah, Blues Rider, when, I was part of that. When Oxycontin first came out, they're like, oh, this isn't as addictive as Percocets, but it's still Oxycontin or oxycodone, and it's still going into you.
What are you talking
it didn't
about?
make sense about how they used to advertise Oxycontin as not as addictive as everything else, even though we all knew it was bullshit. But it's like, all right, these
cotton or oxycodone?
Well, Oxycontin is oxycodone. It's just Oxycontin is the time-released oxycodone, whereas like Percocet is a combination of oxycodone and Tylenol.
I don't know them like that. I just know like Vicodin, Percocet, and then like there's Oxycontin, like an 80 milligram Oxycontin. Like,
right.
that's what we were taking back when I was using them. I would pop like an 80 milligram in my pill in my mouth and lick the coating, the time release coating off of it. So it was just like a white pill. I don't want to
Right.
even
Yep.
I don't even like talking about it because I don't want to teach other people how to do it.
Well, they changed them so you can't do it like that anymore. But yeah, I used to do the same thing. Or take a razor blade and flake all that coating off and
I
crush it
got
up.
so good at
Yeah.
shaving those things, like it was insane. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, Oxycontins. They don't. Do they even still make those? Do they still make Oxycontin?
Yeah, as far as I know, but I know that they distribute much less of them now.
Yeah.
And
Nowadays, like
they
you
they
better
had
be
changed the formula.
Yeah, like I heard that they kind of went to a this happened after I stopped using. I heard they went to a, like, if you tried to lick the release off of it, it would get all gummy and
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't
Yeah,
work
it would turn
the
into
same.
right. It would turn into a gel.
Mhm.
For which I know a way to get around that too, but I really don't want to say it.
Yeah,
But at first, when they first changed it, like people that were shooting them and snorting them, they were like, "Fuck, we can't do anything with these." And for a
yeah.
while, oxys got like cheaper because
Mhm.
everybody was going. They fucking. That's another thing that sent people to heroin is because they couldn't get off on their oxys anymore,
Yeah.
or it would take a lot more of them.
Mhm.
So that was another thing that escalated my tolerances because for a while, like I was getting them a lot cheaper than they were because people just weren't buying them as much because they were, doing other things instead. But eventually, people figured out kind of how to get around that. So
Have you ever done a fentanyl patch?
yeah,
I used to, back in the day. I don't even think they make these anymore. They used to be two different kinds of fentanyl patches you could get,
yeah,
and
the one with the gel inside and one that
yeah,
didn't. Yep.
and I used to take the one with the gel and I would cut it off and slip it over my tongue.
Yeah.
And it's like you're getting, whatever it is. If it's like a 72-hour or 3-day patch, you're getting it in 5 minutes. And
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do that.
yeah, I mean, thank God, I'm not, something worse than it happened to me. I didn't know I didn't have any like this. I didn't know the severity of what I was doing.
Yeah. And if you did know, you wouldn't have cared anyway at the time.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. I was the same way. But yeah, I had them prescribed to me for a while, but yeah, those come with a whole other list of issues.
Oh yeah.
Whoever was asking about Wrestler's mom, she was in here a few days ago. Tried snorting one. Yeah, people that snort Vicodin, they're Norcos now, but I never got into that because like there's very little actual narcotic in a Vicodin or a Norco. It's mostly Tylenol and fillers.
Filler.
So yeah, when you actually get the shit up your nose, it's clogged up with other shit, and most of the narcotic never really gets to your system. So
yeah, people know if you're snorting like a Vicodin, you're like 99% of that pill is just filler.
right.
That narcotic that you're looking for is very minute, where like an Oxycontin is a lot different. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's more concentrated, and there's no bullshit in the way except for a little bit of filler. But yeah, And like the companies that say that, I mean, that shit was, they've got all these scientists that know what's going on, and these companies obviously lied, you know.
They
And
don't.
I
They
guess
don't
there's been
care.
lawsuits, but
They don't. They don't care as long as they're making money off of it.
exactly. All right, looks like JT made it home.
What's that guy's name? I can't
Who?
read it. Crown Royal?
No, clown. That's Clown Force.
Clown Force.
Mm-hmm.
What's he saying? His gas is flabbering? What does
That sounds
that
about right. Oh, he's always got funny shit to say.
mean? Sound like you need a Tums or something, my friend.
Yeah, back when I had the, I didn't have a prescription for the fentanyl patches for very long. I think mine was 75 milligram. I'm not positive about that now, but
Would they come in 50s, 75s, and then there was like a 100, I think.
man, I can't remember.
Yeah, those were. I don't. You first of all, you can't even get the one with the gel in it anymore. I think they outlawed
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah, I think
knew that it
so.
was being abused.
But the thing is, like the warning labels, like if, obviously I got mine from the pharmacy, and the warning label is like two fucking sheets that fold out like a big ass road map, and that's just the precautions. And at the time, I had my kids at home, and it was like if you touch this and you're not used to it, it's going to kill you. And I was so worried that something like that, like it would, I take mine down anyway. But like I was so worried that something would happen, it would fall off of me and land on my old lady or one of my kids or whatever. I told the doctor I just didn't want them anymore, so they put me back on the pills. But
Wow.
yeah, not good.
Yeah. Nothing.
And we had
No drug I've ever done in my life was as intense as when I was getting those fentanyl patches. No drug, and my problem went all the way, and that was the most potent thing that I've ever taken.
it's some nasty shit, man.
When it hit you, my eyes would like shake. I literally couldn't even concentrate on something, like your eyes are jumping, like you couldn't even focus. I guess is what I was trying to say. You can't focus on anything. It's
Right.
hitting you so
Oh, I mean, I used to, I did that too. Cut it open and get the gel out, and then take what's left and boil it or whatever. But like I knew people that would buy. There's enough shit in a used one, which this is totally disgusting. But I was a bail bondsman, so I encountered a lot of people with a lot of problems, and I ran across people that they were buying used ones. They stay on another person for 3 days. The 3-day patches.
yeah.
And they would buy used ones from other people and fucking just put them in their mouth. It. I was never that desperate myself, but
I can see. I myself never had ran into that kind of experience before, but I could see what you're saying. Like if you're just using it like regular, putting it on your arm or something, that it still has potency in it after the 3 days or whatever. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
mm-hmm.
We were so the way we were getting down, like we're basically chewing on the thing until like there was nothing left of it. but fucking, it's hard for
Yeah,
me.
no, strong silent type. No, you don't. Don't fuck with that shit. Don't do what I did. This isn't meant to glorify anything. We're just telling what happened, you know.
You do not want that. You will quickly become the weak silent type.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
just silent.
Yeah. Silent.
Yeah.
It's not even funny, but yeah, it's the truth.
Well, I mean, one of my good friends that I worked with, his son died that way. They were partying and somebody gave him a fent patch. He put it in his mouth and laid out on the couch and never got up. I mean, he was only like 20 years old, you know. And like I also knew a lot of people. I don't have any experience with methadone myself, but like I knew a bunch of people because I guess methadone kicks in really slow and it doesn't really fuck you up like other pills do. You got to take a lot. So they'll take a couple and like they don't get anything off it, so they take a couple of more and don't get anything off of it, so they take a couple more, then they lay down on a couch and never get up. You know,
that's how that you just described exactly how my cousin died.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he was getting. We used to take, you know, like pop a Percocet, go out drinking. You know what I mean? Like probably a lot of people have done that. And then like, you know, so we're kind of just starting to get into that, like go like, oh yeah, every time we go out drinking, it's like let's go like buy 10 Percocets, pop a couple and go drinking. Next thing you know, you're hammered. And
yeah,
the somebody next thing you know, somebody had 80 milligram they were orange wafers, 80 milligram methadone pills. They were orange wafers. And my cousin, and he said, you take one of these, you know, it's like much more potent. Like if you've never done methadone before and then all of a sudden you take methadone, especially that much, like 80 milligrams of methadone, that's a lot. Like that's what people who are trying to kick off of heroin, they're up next to that number because their body has a tolerance, you know, like
right.
And these guys are selling these 80 milligram wafers on the street, passing them off saying that they're like Percocets. Methadone is much it stays in your system much longer. So if you take one and then another, take one, oh, you feeling pretty good and stuff, you take another one, you're up into, if you've never done that type of thing, you're into a dangerous area. Dangerous. Like if you haven't done that type of thing before, there's a chance you're not going to wake up.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for tolerance. And
once your tolerance is up, you know, like I remember one of my friends said to me, like, you know, like we used to live together and, you know, we would sell some stuff just to make enough so like we could use for free basically. And he was watching me and, you know, like I woke up in the morning and I did a 8 ball of Coke and then I took 2 80 milligram Oxycontins. That was like my morning breakfast. And right after that,
you a whole 8 ball like at once?
Yeah. No, like like I would do not an 8 ball like in one snort, but I would break out a ball and then
I got you.
Yeah. And then like once I did that ball, I would use the oxys to come down off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing, like this is like in the morning, I'm getting ready to go out for the day. And then like he seen me eating a bowl of cereal. He was like, I knew you had a problem after that.
Yeah.
You know, like where it was just things were like that kind of you're doing that kind of pumping that kind of narcotics into your system just to like get up for the day, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Like I said, I've never been like actually hooked on coke, but like if I get like a bunch of it, like more than what I would need for the night, like you know how it is. It doesn't matter how much you get, whether it's an ounce or an 8 ball. Like you're going to do all of it until it's gone.
Yeah.
And then like coming down off of that, like going on a 3-day run or whatever, coming down off of that sucks for a couple of days. So I see how people get hooked on it so easy, because you do not want to feel that way. I just didn't allow myself to go get more. I'd probably be hooked on coke too.
You don't see the thing with coke. You don't necessarily get the hook that you do with opiates. Where coke is more of like a mental thing. Like if you use coke long enough, like I was abusing them, then like it's like when I like wake up for the day, you needed the coke just to get going.
Right.
Like it was like that's kind of how like if you like back, that's the way it felt to me. You didn't get like like what it's like when you're going through withdrawals from opiates. It's knocking you into the dirt type of thing.
Yeah.
Like where the coke was just kind of feel like you just couldn't get going if you didn't do it. That's like where if you didn't have the opiates, like you're not even getting out of bed. You're just hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. I tried things before where like I would have my girlfriend hang on to my pills, but the thing is like when you live with somebody, and ordinarily I treat my women very well, but when it came to my like she would try to space them out for me and be like, no, it's not time for your pills yet, and I'm like, fuck it, give them to me now, and she would just give in. I was like too much of a bully when it came to that.
Yeah.
So then I tried giving them to friends. Like one of them, this dude was a bad motherfucker, didn't take no shit. And so I had him hanging on to my pills, but I would be such a fucking asshole that he would even give in. Like I would go to his house at 3:00 in the morning, be like, give me my fucking pills.
Yeah.
And he would just eventually give in because he didn't want to fight. So I tried shit like that, but like, it just never worked. All it did was piss people off. So I had to stop doing that.
Yeah, because they may think that they're up to the task. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even if, unless your buddy's going to literally kick the shit out of you, like he may think that he's up to the task of like holding you to whatever schedule he thinks he's supposed to be holding you to, so that you're not having a problem with it.
Right.
Addicts are creative. Like you're gonna think of
things
he wants.
Yeah, you get real. Yep.
I'm gonna figure out what he needs to hear to give it to me now. Like
yeah. Yep. You get manipulative as hell when it comes to getting that shit.
Yes.
And you're exactly right. You get creative. You're like, okay, this guy knows me pretty well, so he knows how I think. So now I got to outthink that.
Mm-hmm.
And you will try, and sometimes it works. But when it didn't, man, it would come to. That's the thing. I mean, that's a couple of these dudes. Like they were bad motherfuckers, and I would never want to have to. I've seen them fight other people, and I wouldn't want to fight them. And like this one in particular, he's like, man, I'll kick the shit out of you if you fucking whatever. But he didn't, and he should have. But all that would have done was piss me off, and I would have quit having him hang on to my pills anyway. So. But yeah, it was fucked up, man. I mean, it was it was my stuff, and I would give it to him, and then, I text him at 3:00 in the morning, and he wouldn't answer me back, of course, and then I'd wait a half hour, and then text him again, and he wouldn't answer back, and like he was seeing the text, he just wasn't answering me.
Yeah.
And then 3:00 in the morning, man, he only lived like 6 blocks away. I'd drive to his house and beat on the fucking door until he answered. And he would just give me whatever just to shut me the fuck up,
Yeah. It's like you're just you're gonna be a pain in the ass until then. Like he knows, like the only way it's gonna shut you up is to end up firing the bottle at you.
Yeah. Oh shit! What's he saying now, Dean? He'll probably
Nathaniel
target.
is just I think that's like a longer version of Nathan, Sarah, just to answer your question. Like on my birth certificate, it says Nathan. Actually, no one in my life ever calls me Nathan. I just put that name there because that's the way I spell it in Game of Thrones. Most people call me Nate.
Oh, right on, Nate. Good to meet you.
We've met, Bill.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I just didn't know what I was supposed to call you is all. Holy cow, my mic's been buried under my coat. I'm surprised you guys could hear me at all.
Section 15, yeah. He seems to have some experience with the same shit that we were into, Bill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So does Will B apparently. His hangover cure was the 2x2x2. Yep.
The thing that did it for me, the reason that I got clean was, just the look in my loved ones' eyes when they would see me. Like, I had this big dark secret, like, and you think you have it under control, like where you're being able to do this big dark secret without those people really knowing what kind of hole you're in. But then the look on their face when they see you, the eyes tell you everything you need to know. Like you start seeing that look, like, and now everybody's giving you this look, like, and you know the gig is up. Everyone knows
Exactly.
that you're a junkie, like, and it's like I need to make a change. Like, I'm tired.
Well, that's the thing. Like I remember back when I thought I had it under control. I look at pictures of myself. I just ran across some photographs a while back, and back then when I thought I had it under control, like I remember the specific event where I thought, I'm cool or whatever. But I look at these old pictures of myself, and like you can totally see it, man. You can tell I'm gone.
Oh, dude.
Dean, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but I didn't dox anybody.
What did he say?
I guess John's saying that I doxed Cam and Gina, but I did no such thing.
I'm afraid of that stuff that you guys are always talking about, man. Like because I'm not a smart guy. Like, and like somebody could easily hack me. Like, I hope nobody in here's doxing my computer. Like, please don't do that.
Well, I mean, they can't do it just from the chat here. Usually it's people's own words that are their undoing. I will give you some advice. If you're gonna talk to people around the community, you might want to change the name on or just get a whole new email. Because your email told me your first and last name, so you might want to get
because it's you.
Oh, I know. I understand that. And I'm never going to come off of it. But I'm just telling you, if you're going to communicate with people, you might like set up an Instagram that doesn't have your name on it or a different email or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm never going to give up your name. But I'm just letting you know, if you're going to communicate with people, you might want to like not tell anybody who you really are.
I could tell them my first name though, right?
I mean, they already know it, so that's fine. Just be real careful not to mention your last name ever. I mean, Nate's a pretty common name, so I don't think you have much to worry about.
Hey, dog. You know Nate Dogg from the song Regulators?
Song Regulators,
You heard? Did you ever have you heard it? Did you used to listen to rap? You ever listen to rap?
I can't stand rap,
Okay.
so no.
So it was
I'm
a
a
rap.
metalhead.
It's an awesome rap song, but it's I only listen to old school rap, like 90s rap. That's because like the era I grew up in.
Right.
I think he passed away though.
Yeah, I'm a metalhead, or a grunge kind of guy. I just never got into rap.
I am literally an everything guy. I can listen to anything if it's good. Like I listen to a ton of metal, a ton of I guess you would call it grunge music, like that came around in like the 90s. Rap, country music I like, oldies, like like Marvin Gaye type of stuff, like Smokey Robinson. Like I could listen to so many different types of. If it's good, I'll listen to it. Dido, like mood music. I'll listen to anything if it's good.
Right on. I wish I was more like that because I get aggravated having to hear certain music, and I wish that I liked
Will be
more
respect.
genres than I do.
Respect.
All right,
Before
Will be.
he's about to leave, respect on your cleanness too, brother. Thanks for stopping by and supporting Bill's channel.
Yeah, thanks, Will be, and that's awesome. 3 years clean in June. I totally respect anybody that's. I mean, I joke around about drugs a lot, mostly to make fun of myself, but the reality is I don't encourage drug use, and I don't want anybody to.
Hell no.
To have to suffer through that.
I'm such a stickler with my family members now.
But yeah.
Like if I find out the doctor like prescribed them something, like I get so worried that one of the younger ones are like, because they had my nephew one time, he was spinning around and he fell down and like smacked his head on a concrete fireplace. And
oh shit.
Yeah, and they ended up prescribing him some painkillers, and thankfully he didn't have to take any of them. But like I was so worried about, because like you said, like you started taking them. Like you could start, like I know so many, like I myself started taking them because I wanted to shut my brain off. But I know people that had to take it for like a legit physical ailment, and then next thing you know, they're up shit's creek without a paddle.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. When
wide open.
I was using it to treat, mental pain as well as physical, because I was a very active guy. Like I said, I was never really into TV. Dude, I have never paid to have cable put into my house. And so dude, I hunted humans for a living. I was a steel worker. I jumped out of airplanes. I was doing all this active shit all the time. And then boom, I'm stuck on a couch. So not only are you dealing with the physical pain, you have to deal with the mental pain of not being able to move like you used to and do the same things.
Oh.
And and then it's like, once you realize that you're addicted to shit, you're like, well, fuck it. I may as well just be a full-on junkie and you just quit caring and start doing other shit and taking way more than you're supposed to,
Yeah. And it gets really easy to say that. Like, who am I? Right? Like, that's what would go through my head. Who am I? No one's, yeah, like maybe like my, they'll miss me a little bit, but I'm probably more of a deterrence to them. Like I didn't care what happened to me, but that was so far from the truth. That
Mhm.
was me saying that in my twisted state that I was in. You know, uh like in my head, no one cared, but that's not
Right,
it was not reality at all.
right. That's the thing. You know, sometimes knowing something and feeling something are two different things. Like you can know people care about you, but when your heart is unable to feel it, it's you know it, it's just a hard thing to get through, and a lot of people don't make it out. I did things that should have um, I did things on purpose that should have killed me, and it didn't.
Mhm.
And like it's horrible on other people.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It's like if
All right,
if
Sarah. If you have a good night too.
if like if my cousin would have ever known what I was gonna go through, like I'm sure he would have never. When I started doing stuff, I was young man. I just like you know when you're young, you think you're indestructible at first until people start dying around you. Then you start to get an idea of it.
Yeah.
Like but when we were young, we lived like we were rock stars, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
could get dangerous really quick.
Yeah. It's real easy to take life for granted when you're, especially when you're young, man. And like you said, you think you're indestructible because you. I mean, here's the thing: you either get away with a lot of shit and you just kind of keep doing it, or you get killed in the process, or fucking crippled for life, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I did a lot of things that probably should have killed my ass just for fun, and then later on, I did other things. You know,
Oh, dude,
uh,
there's probably been so many times that you've done things that could have put an end to your life. Like if
mhm.
you have gotten to that point where like you have an issue, like you if you're using these kind of drugs, you're rolling the dice.
Oh yeah. And things are especially. I mean, the drugs game's always been dangerous, but now, like they make pills that look just like the real thing, that are actually fentanyl that was made in a fucking bathtub, and you don't really know how much is in there.
I know. Like I don't know what's on the street right now because I'm so far removed from it. Um,
Hmm.
but I hear about like the heroin that's on the streets right now. Like we had it, I don't know what state you live in, but the state that I live in, we had like a snap of deaths. Like people that were using, like they were finding them dead in restaurants, in coffee shops, inside the bathrooms. Like the heroin was laced with fentanyl, and
Yeah.
it, it was just killing people. And then I was like, fentanyl? Like I mean, I know fentanyl is really dangerous, and like I've like when I told you the story about when I tried the patches and stuff,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like I didn't know of it to be like
Well,
killing. Then I heard, like you said, like there's these people that are mixing this shit up in their bathtub. They don't know how much they're putting in. And
right.
the difference between like a good high and death is like the most minuscule amount, and it's so easy for them to go over it, like, and it's that's the chance you're taking.
Yeah, the stuff on the street isn't like the medical grade fentanyl. It's actually car fentanyl and like other kinds of shit too. But yeah, it's mixed up in literally in bathtubs or whatever, and they don't know. You don't know if you're getting a pill that has 100 micrograms in it or like 5 milligrams. It's
They actually
unreal.
put them in pills now, Bill.
Yes, man. They make pills. They have pill presses, and it looks just like a Norco or just like a Xanax. Or I mean, they look. You can't tell them apart by looking. And they'll tell you, oh yeah, this is a 10 milligram Norco, but it's actually fentanyl, and they don't really know how much is in it. That kills a lot of people because you can get it. Like say you're used to a 10 milligram Norco, and you know that you can take 4 of them and be all right. But then you get a hold of this stuff that you think is the real deal, but it's actually fentanyl, and you fucking OD just quick.
Yeah, I heard about like the things that you're talking about. Like, is it? I don't know if you've heard this. You could probably enlighten me. I mean, because I've never heard of it. Um, but is it true that some of the street fentanyl or however they're making it, whether it's in heroin or in a pill, I don't know. Some of it, like even if it just touches somebody, can kill them.
Yes, yeah, the pure form. Yeah, there's been a few cops die of that because they go to search a vehicle and they just touch it and
How?
like they'll go into anaphylactic shock or yeah, it happens if it's like in the pure form.
Just it's in like a pill form.
They can put it in anything. It's like a crystalline white powder. They put it in Coke. Like they'll tell you they'll cut Coke with it, even though fucking Coke is Coke and the fentanyl is an opioid. So you're basically getting a speedball, but you think you're just doing Coke. So if you're not used to opioids, or like say you've already got oxys in your system, it fucking overdoses you. Or sometimes they just make it too goddamn strong because they don't really know how strong it is. But yeah,
I think that's what was happening around here, Bill.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they
I'm
press it
reading
into
what you're
pills.
writing. Section 15. I keep reading what you're writing.
I am too.
Mm.
Yeah, section 15 seems to know what he's talking about.
Section 15, like, is that like the aliens? Remember that movie, Section what? There was those little like cockroach aliens looking things. Like giant, they looked like giant, kind of like a giant cockroach, actually. Bill, you don't even watch movies, Bill?
Well, I mean, I've seen movies, but see, I'm of the belief that technology is just witchcraft, so I stay away from it. But yeah, I know what movie you're talking about with Sigourney Weaver, that aliens movie.
No, that's aliens.
Okay, well that's what we were talking about.
There's this other one called like Section something.
Oh yeah. Yep, I saw that a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like kind of like spoofy, but it actually was good the way they did it. Like I ended up liking it. Like this regular dude like ends up getting some of the shit like on his arm and it starts transforming him into these aliens. And the aliens had like taken over this one section. They're like all fenced off. It was just a pretty cool movie.
Right on. Yeah, I remember that movie.
So, Bill, you never watched like Game of Thrones, for example?
Nope. I've seen clips of it. Like it looks pretty cool, but I've never seen a whole episode.
Do you have a Blu-ray player?
No, I had an Xbox a long time ago, but I don't have a. Dude, I literally live in the woods.
Do you have a TV?
I own one. I just don't have anything to plug it into.
You don't have electricity?
Not really. No.
How are you using your computer?
I don't have a computer, man. All I have is a phone.
You're on your phone right now?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Nope. That's literally all I have is a phone.
I knew a guy one time, Bill, that when we were in high school, he used to hang out with us. He was like 25 at the time. Okay. So we're like 15, 16 years old. And we went out into the woods and we built this little house. Like it was like it was a 1-room house, like very rough house, just we put this, the sticks up and then slam some sheets of plywood on the walls, and it was very rough. And we used to throw parties back there. But in the off time, this dude that we had met, Andy, he was a strange dude. Hello, Wolfpack. He freaking used to live out there when we weren't partying.
I was in the process of building a cabin out. I'm not actually in the woods right now, but I was in the process of building a cabin, and some shit happened, and that got delayed. So, yeah.
What is it that you're living in?
I just live in a fucking tarp for the most part.
What shades you from the elements?
A tarp? I do have places I can go. Like if it gets real bad, I do have places I can go. I just choose not to.
Huh. So you're just chilling out in the woods?
Yeah, I'm not in the woods right now because I can't stream from there because I don't have enough signal to stream from there, so I have to go other places. But
yeah. But let's say you were out in the woods, I'm saying, and all of a sudden the weather got shitty. There's nothing to keep you from that?
I just don't care. Dude, I've been a survivalist my whole life, so I mean it does suck a lot of the time. And like I said, I do have places I can go. Like if I just don't feel like dealing with it or whatever. But
I mean it wouldn't take too much to throw up like a small, like what I built.
Yeah, I was in the process of building a cabin, but there was a fire and like some of the woods got fucked up. So now I've got some guys coming in, like when it's not too muddy. I've got some guys coming in. They're going to help me take down the trees, and I'm selling them like the lumber they get. So, like when there's a, I wouldn't call it a forest, but when there's a forest fire, like it damages the trees, and you don't know when they're going to fall or what direction they're going to fall. So you got to go in and take all that shit out. And then once it's made to where you can, and like it's a little bit better now, but for a long time, like you couldn't walk through there without getting coated in black shit.
Man,
so
me and my brother can come out there and whip up, something rough really quick.
Yeah, dude, I know how to build shelters. I use a tarp, and that's all I care. I don't need anything else.
So you just what like build a fire?
Yeah.
And hang out by the fire mostly. Yeah. Trust me, dude. There are times that I wish I could live off the grid, like I would want to have like something to sleep in, a shelter, like but I don't have like survivalist skills.
Yeah, like I said, I just use a tarp.
You
it
catch
works
it,
just fine.
how do you eat?
But I just bring like I don't really eat very much anyway. I'll go 2 days without eating anything just because I don't feel like it.
Because you don't
But yeah,
feel
I just
it, or because you don't have it.
because I don't feel like it. I have food. I just don't eat very much. But anyway, speaking of that, I'm gonna have to get going. I was on here longer than I expected to be anyway. So,
Me too.
but dude, I'm glad you came up and bullshitted with me for a while.
Yeah, no problem, Bill. When's the next time you're coming back?
I have no idea. Actually, I know that Tuesday, my friend Heather is gonna come up here, and she's got a terrible story about what her daughter and her has been going through the last couple of years.
All right.
So Tuesday she wants me to do that, but I usually don't know when I'm going live until somebody says, "Hey, go live for me" or whatever, or I just decide to do it. Like I don't have a regular schedule.
All right. Well, I'll just keep an eye. I get notifications when you pop on. So thanks for letting me come chat with you.
Hey, no problem, man. You can come up anytime.
And be safe, brother.
All right, you too, man.
Later on.
All right, later. All right, I was on here longer than I wanted to be. I don't know what happened to the person that was trying to get on here, but anyway, yep. I appreciate y'all and stay naked. Oh, and support the sea monkeys. Hit my Cash App. Y'all stay naked.